Okay, again I welcome you. So in last class I have discussed the stress strain diagram of the cold work deform bar. So here you see that this is a stress strain diagram of FE 415 and FE 500. So this type of stress strain diagram has no clear cut yield point. So it is proportional, stress is proportional to strain up to 0.8 times Fy, 0.8 times of yield stress. Strain and corresponding stress are listed. So say for Fe 415. So in Fe 415, you see that so this is the yield strength curve, and this is a design stress strain diagram of steel. So 0.4 at the 0.8 FYD, the corresponding strain and stress is, so from this, so as it is linear, so this is the design uh, this is stress level 0.8 Fy, and we divide the factor of safety, that is 1.15, because the factor of safety for material for steel is 1.15. Then it is divided by modulus of elasticity of steel. So that is how much? That is uh, 2 into 10 to the power 5 MPa. So we will get this strain 0.00144, and the corresponding stress is E into epsilon S, E into epsilon, E into FSC, stress of steel. So this is how much? 288.7 MPa. So it is given in SP16. SP you know, so that I have already discussed that what is SP. SP means special publication 16, and the page number 16. Actually the SP16 is a handbook, and the this is basically used for quick design. I mean the less times are required to design a member if I use SP16. So here the tables, in table A, I mean in page number 6, so for different stress value, that strain are given. So suppose Fe 415, so for 0.8 Fy, the strain is 0.00144, and the corresponding stress is 280, which is exactly same. Okay, so we see that from the IS 456 stress strain diagram, we get the epsilon SC and FSC, corresponding strain and corresponding stress at 0.8 Fy, and the same tables are, and the from so the tables are given in SP16. So if I use this table, so we can easily get the values. Okay, without detailed calculations, we get the ready-made value. So this is beneficial to design the members. So that's why the SP16s we are using to for the to accelerate to make the design. We can do the design quickly. So again, for the 0.95 design yield strain, corresponding strain is how much? You see that 0.95 means the this value, and the corresponding strain, that is 0.007. This is a permanent strain. So at this stage, at the 0.95 yield stress, if I withdraw load, then it make a 0.007 permanent strain. So the total strain is, so this is the elastic strain, okay, which is recoverable, and this is a permanent strain which is not non-recoverable, and the total strain is 0.00241. So you see that the same things are given 0.00241, and the corresponding strain is E into this is F channel SC. Okay, so here I have made a mistake, so this is not FSC, this is F channel SC. So the corresponding stress is 342.8, and for any intermediate value, suppose 0.87 FYD. So how you get the value? So simple linear interpolation is made. Okay, so here it is not given, linear interpolation may be done for intermediate values. Next I am going to discuss the behavior of singly reinforced sections, singly reinforced rectangular section at collapse limit state or ultimate limit state in flexure. Okay, flexure means bending. So this is a cross section of beam, and this beam has width is B, because you know that width of beam is denoted by small b. Okay, by B we understand this is a width of beam, and small d means this is a effective depth of beam, and effective depth of beam is measured from the centroid of the tensile steel to the topmost fiber. Now you see that this is a stress strain, because this curve we want to consider, because this is a design stress strain diagram. So 0.67 by 1.5, how much? It is 0.447 FCK. Now this is a strain diagram. Strain is, you see that this is linear, because as per the assumption A, plane section remain plane before and after bending, so it means the strain is linear, and the maximum strain is 0.0035, and the axial strain is the 0.002 strain also occur up to so it is parabola up to 0.002 strain, non-linear up to 0.002 strain, after that it is constant. So so the 0.002 strain, suppose at this level the 0.2 strain is occurred, and the maximum topmost limiting concrete strain is 0.0035, and the strain of steel should be, as per the code, strain of steel shall not be less than this amount, this is 0.87 Fy by Es. This is elastic strain. Then another inelastic strain is considered, this the permanent strain is taken to ensure that the member section should fail in a ductile way. So that's why this strain is considered. So as per the code, the strain of steel should be more than this amount. This is called the limiting strain. Okay, so that should be more than, that means the strain of steel shall not be less than, so it means it should be more than this. Now suppose, so this is a stress block of concrete. You see that this is parabola up to how much? From 0.0035 to 0.002. So this is 0.0035 to 0.002. it is constant, stress is constant, so that's why the rectangular stress block has come, and after that it is for parabola from 0.002 to 0 strain. Okay, so it is parabola. So from neutral axis, so from this point to this point it is parabola, and the maximum compressive stress, uh, it is also at the as the maximum compressive strain at the topmost fiber. So obviously automatically the maximum compressive stress is also at the topmost fiber. Okay, so that is how much, 0.447 FCK. So how it comes? So this is characteristic strain divided by 1.5 size factor, again the factor of safety for material, again 1.5 is divided, and we get this value, so 0.447 FCK. So this stress block has the two part. One is the rectangular, this is called rectangular stress block, another is parabolic stress block. And you see that here the entire tension is taken up by the steel, not by the concrete. So the tensile strength of the concrete is ignored. Only the case or entire tension is the steel is taking the whole tension. And obviously here the sagging bending movement take place. This is called the sagging bending movement take place. So so that's why the above neutral axis the fibers are compressed, and below neutral axis fibers are tensions, and the steels are used at the bottom side. This is the leaving the clear cover. This is the amount of steel. Amount of steel is area of steel. Okay, and this is called lever clear cover. Leaving the clear cover, these those bars are placed. Okay, now C1 is the, so this total stress block is divided in two part. One is rectangular and another is parabola. So rectangular stress block rectangular stress block is exerting a compressive force, because concrete taking the compression. So so the rectangular block contribute this C1 amount compressive force. Is the and another this parabola part exert the compressive force C2. Okay, so this is the resultant forces. This is the resultant compressive force. So this force, this line of action of resultant forces passes through the CG of this stress block. Okay, and so you know that this force is this C1 force is this compressive force passes through the CG of this rectangle, is at the middle, and this is C2 force is passes through this through the CG of this parabola. Okay, and the total force is C1 plus C2. And the tensile force is how much? Tensile force is the design stress is Fy by 1.15, so which is equal to 0.87 Fy into area of steel, because stress into area we get the force, tensile force, so that is 0.87 Fy AST. Now we want to find out the depth of neutral axis at ultimate limit state, and XU can be easily obtained from the strain diagram. So this is a strain diagram. So we find out the XU, means the depth of neutral axis. We compute the depth of neutral axis from the strain diagram. So how we get it? So simply this distance is effective depth. So if I draw a triangle, okay, so this is similar triangle. We apply the similar triangle concept to find out the depth of neutral axis. So this ordinate we know. So this ordinate is how much? this is the same. Okay, this is 0.0035. Okay, so we use this triangle and another this triangle. Okay, so uh, so we get the value xu by d is the one triangle, is this is the one triangle, and another triangle is this is the another triangle. So this two triangles are congruent, and so use the similar triangle concept. We uh, we find out the depth of neutral axis. So this is xu by d, 0.0035 by 0.00. This ordinary 0.0035 by plus epsilon st. This is a limiting strain. Okay, so again this one we get from this strain diagram. According to the F, according to the assumption F, epsilon st, strain of steel, should be more than epsilon st star. Okay, over star, this is called the limiting strain, and the limiting strain is how much? This is equal to this value, this is star, this amount is called the limiting strain. So so from the limiting strain we find the limiting depth of the neutral axis, that is xu max. Xu max, xu means the depth of neutral axis, and the maximum depth of neutral axis is obtained using the limiting condition. So what is the limiting condition? Where the limiting condition is epsilon st is equal to epsilon st star. Okay, so the epsilon st value should be more than this value, so we use the limiting condition. So means the here the strain of steel just reach to the limiting strain. Okay, so substitute the expression epsilon st star in above equation. So epsilon st we know, that is 0.87 fi by es plus 0.002. Okay, so from the similar triangle we get this expression. Now the epsilon st star is just put the epsilon st star value in this expression, and we get this expression 0.0035 by 0.035 plus 0.002. So it means 0.0055 plus 0.87 fi by es. Now, so this is the expression to get the maximum depth of neutral axis. Okay, so so use this expression. So you see that maximum depth of neutral axis only depend on grade of steel. Okay, so here in page number 70 in IS 456/2000, go to page number 670, and you see the note here for the different grade of steel, xu max by d values are given. Okay, so suppose for Fe 250, Fe 250, so just put the value Fi, put the value 250 here, and we get the 0.53. Okay, so this is exactly same things we get from this expression, and which is given in code. The same values we get from that equation is equation 2.1. So just putting the value, we get this expression, okay, which is given on code. So it means you do not need to find out uh, for the different grade of steel XU minus X by D values, because all these values are already given in IS 456 2000. So at the time of design only uh, we take the value from the IS 456. No need to calculate the value, but that is for your information. uh, how this, how the values comes, so that I just discuss how this value come. Again, now from the strain diagram, the depth of parabolic portion, so from point 0035 to 0.002, so this is a rectangular stress block, so can be obtained from the strain diagram. So again, uh, again I use, so this distance is XU. Okay, again I use the similar triangle concept. This is the one triangle and another triangle is, this is the another triangle. Okay, so from the similar triangle we get the depth of parabolic portion. So this portion is parabolic stress block, so we get the 0.002 into XU by 0.0035, which is equal to 4 by 7 XU. Similarly, depth of rectangular portion of the stress block, again from the similar triangle, this is the one similar triangle. The two similar triangles, x1 and x2. Okay, if it is 4 by 7, then the x2 is how much? That is simply 3 by 7, because the total depth of neutral axis is XU. So if it is 4 by 7, then x2 is 3 by 7 XU. Okay. Next, to determine the position of line of action of forces of so to determine the position of line of action of forces of CU, locate at a distance as shown in figure. So suppose the line of action of resultant forces, suppose this will pass through the CG of this stress block. So you have to find out the CG distance from the topmost fiber. Suppose the distance is x bar is denoted, so that is from the topmost fiber. Now we verify how this value comes, that I check. Okay, it is also given in code.